Yo, welcome in everyone. My name is LynnCarius. I am here for this awesome event hosted by Nelson Alex. Go. Had to get chat up for it. Yo, welcome in, welcome in. Helps if I unpause. There we go. But hope everyone's having a wonderful weekend. I got some Jurassic Park in store for us, but I'm going to start off with my first favorite game to speedrun, and that would be Jurassic Park for the Nintendo. And following that, we will be going to the Super Nintendo. But what better way to, celebrate some Jurassic Park than the lovely T-Rex costume? Alright, let's get this thing fired up. Alright. We got some awesome stuff ahead. I am number 2 on both of these speedrun boards, but do not expect that great of gameplay today, as honestly it's kind of hard to see in this thing, but that makes it more fun. But welcome in, everyone. It's really hard for me to read chat, but I will try to when I get a chance, so bear with me. Hope you all have a wonderful time watching this shenanigery. Alright, let's get this thing started. 3, 2, 1, and boom. So there's a bunch of eggs up there that we just barrage our way through, and we are gonna keep ammo tight in this first stage. This is one gigantic Easter egg hunt. What we need to do is collect or shoot every egg on each area that we have available to us, and that will give us a key card, which unlocks the next area for us to get into. I have been doing my best to minimize how much moving I have to do. In case you're wondering why our lovely Dr. Grant, aka Smokey the Bear with a bazooka, is hopping around so much. Well, that's because every landing while the screen is moving saves us an entire frame, which adds up very, very quickly. But there's some lovely little tech that has been discovered over the past while, like door clipping. Makes our shots a little bit more tricky and a little bit faster. I do try to run the ammo very close for the first 2 stages, as we get a gigantic ammo drop when we're fighting T-Rex if we run out of ammo. And one more trick shot there. But there's lots of little things that happen throughout the run. Whoopsie. Hey, can I please? There we go. There is lots of hidden items hanging around, and I will likely be collecting several of these little one-ups along the way, because I'm sure I'm probably going to die more than I should. But, that's par for the course when you can barely see what's going on. Alright, so what we needed to do for this stage was unlock the gate so we can go rescue Tim, aka the linebacker, if you are familiar with American football, that is trapped in the Triceratops enclosure and is a stampede, or is amidst the stampede that is going on. So let's go pick up Tim. I know. And he really doesn't look like a little boy. But there's a fun little thing that we can do with him. He starts to clip around the outside of the screen, more so on that side than the other. And if he happens to swing around, Oh, well, he gets hit by the Triceratops that's running across the side of the other screen. Or the other side of the screen. Another little fun thing to do is graze the hitboxes of the Triceratops, because Grant's hitbox is about as wide as his hat. The 54-year-old mad child. So this is 100% predictable. This pattern is always the same, so just quick memorization and boom. No worries at all. I was not worried about taking a hit because there's some health right off the bat. Oh, hey, let's jump shot that. And there's one down here, but there's some health in the tree. Fun fact, if you happen to jump before you get a frame to turn in, Grant stays in the same position that he was facing. This is a little bit of a tricky shot. I got about a 2 pixel window. Let's grab our invulnerability right there. I missed the egg that I figured I would. So it's a really good thing that we grabbed this invulnerability, because we're going to be having to go through all these guys all over again. And I missed this egg. Ah! I don't have the right angle. Let's grab the health before I get hit, apparently. And then run like the wind. And this is why I grabbed extra life along the way. Do not forget our ammo. We're going to need that for the T-Rex. Alright, Raptors, be kind. So, anybody know Tubin? Well, that was to be expected. That is one hit you cannot avoid while going fast. Again, all this stuff is predictable except for the RNG of the when they spit. That's more on like a global timer. The eggs in this stage, or in the rafting part, mean absolutely nothing aside from, hey, we get 20 points instead of 5 for a collection. You can gain extra lives by collecting them all, but we don't need that. I'm taking extra damage, apparently not. Alright. Now we get to see our lovely friend and my cosplay, the T-Rex. Which we will mash down and empty our ammo. Whew, that was one heck of a mash. So this is our lovely stage where we have to turn on the power and go through a computer maze, booting up the computer system. But first, more eggs. Alright, I can't see my shot. There we go. This was a fun little reroute that happened during the big 2018. It's about the same amount of time as the old route, but I find it a bit safer to handle, as we are going to try to get some Dilophosaurs to spawn in up here. And what that does is keep this little hallway there clear of raptors. And we don't have to see any raptors through here either. And now we get our key card. And go turn on the power. And for extra safety, I'll grab a 1-up while getting hit. So here's our throw switches for the power. Don't touch those two, those are both damaging. Can't jump through doors, but it's still a... Oops, you must go away. And don't touch the Stegosaurus. Those are one-hit kills. They touch you, you go splat. Same with the, the Spinosaurus. So, in here we got the lovely, lovely computer maze. I'm going to try to avoid taking as much damage as possible, like always, but no guarantees. We have to talk to these computers in a specific order, and it's not the first one, but it's the second one that we start off with. Then, oh, you might... Yeah, there is no real rhyme or reason to this order. But you got 2, 4, 8, which is, I'm counting in numbers from the furthest from the door. Don't touch that box, that's bad, bad box. That just insta-kills you. We want our health, let's be honest. That would be number 6. This is number 7. We have to go all the way through everything and go to number 8. Yeah, let's grab the health. Why not? Now, our question mark boxes do not tell us what they are, but they do stay the same. So once you know what they are, it is a safe bet the next time you play. So you don't have to worry about them being random or whatever. It's always the same. And there's usually a copy hanging around that door. One fun fact we start to realize in this is raptors and Dilophosaurs cannot be on the screen at the same time. So before we were making sure that we had Dilophosaur spawn to keep raptors off the screen. Well, now there's times when we have to do the opposite. Oof. But usually we want Dilophosaurs as they are much easier to predict and avoid. Alright, we are closing in on the end of this stage. We have 3 more computers to talk to, starting with number 3. Ah, well, that's why we got the extra lives. Got you. All you have to do is talk to them and then mash out. You don't have to see the screen that tells you, hey, you've found the correct one. If for some reason you talk to them out of order, nothing happens. Aside from it just tells you you chose the wrong one. Just find out where you left off at, and boom, it's good to go from there. Now, because we had that Dilophosaur spawn and there's no raptor going to show up in this hallway, which, you know, helps make things less dangerous. We do have a variable jump height, so sometimes I'm going to be jumping much higher than other times. And this is where we start to find some really fun tech, like that one. And now we just try to avoid all these little compies up here. So sometimes you get on a weird subpixel thing where the rocks don't hurt you, but apparently we don't have it this time. But I wanted to clear that box, as that is another one of those boxes that just says, yeah, you don't have a health bar right now. I didn't read the corner there. So we are going to pick up one more extra life right here. That is one I always pick up, because it's literally a little step out of the way. That is one of my favorite little swag shots, getting all 4 of those in. Alright, there we go. It is a little bit of a waste in terms of the ammo, but it's a guarantee that everything gets hit. The ammo is worth different values of damage. Our little yellow shots that we usually use for taking down an egg are worth, I would say, 1 damage. Compies take 2, Dilophosaurs and Raptors take 4. I have no idea which one I'm on for my splits, but that doesn't really matter. But the green ammo is worth 2 yellow, or 2 damage. The red copper, whatever you want to call it, bolus shots are worth 2 apiece, but you shoot a series of 3 at a time. And what we did there was collect some dynamite for these raptor nests, which we must destroy. But guess what? There's not just that in here. Right in that corner is a lovely little 1-up. So we're going to grab that. And the blue ammo is worth 6 damage. But we're going to want to actually save our red ammo, these ones. If I can line up my shot, please. Thank you. For the T-Rex at the end, because strangely enough, those do more damage to the T-Rex at the very end than the blues do. That's why I'm grabbing extra ammo and lives. Boom. So there is a little bit of a health box on the other side of this hallway, but we're not going to need it. We are full health thanks to that raptor killing us a minute ago. Yeah, there's no chance of me seeing that. You can usually see him poking up around the side of around the top of the walls there. My vision does not let me see that right now. So yeah, I was kind of expecting those hits. Hey, we actually got a good cycle on the volcano. That is very rare to happen, where you get through and you don't get hit by it. We're going to do a little quick trick here. 1, 2, and rock. Very quick shots. We will be coming back to that ammo, because we don't want to leave this room, so we can save a little bit more time. I'll try to read some chat here in just a second, as we're going to be sitting around for a handful of seconds while we wait this timer out. Alright. Yeah, the soundtrack on this game is absolutely amazing. So this is our only glitch known in the game. That egg, you can just blast into oblivion for a few seconds once the screen loads. Not sure exactly why it happens, but I'm not going to complain. Why? Because now we can just avoid every single egg in here. I will make sure that it stays there. So what we've done is actually underflowed the amount of eggs required. So nothing is going to be a key card now, but we did grab the key card. So we are still safe to go. It is a risk if you did not grab the key card and you underflow the eggs. But, you know, with the walk up to that one, I guarantee I grabbed the key card with the amount of mashing that I have to do in that. So right here, we are going to take an intentional death during the stampede. It'll probably end up being unintentional at some point, but this rock is our friend. We will keep coming back to it for several of these passes. Now we are closing in on the end of the stampede. I'm going to just wait here for certain doom. Thank you. And now we don't hear the stampede. All I was doing there was refilling the health, because we're going to gain another extra life along the way very soon here. Alright, I need blue, please. Thank you. There's an egg up there that I try to get while I'm collecting those copper ammo. Just past that. Got both of those. So this is the ship. This is quite possibly the most difficult stage this game has to offer. Not because of what's on the deck. The deck is very, very easy to get past. It is the electric rooms we're going to be seeing here in just a few seconds. And believe me, they are no joke. Getting through them without taking damage quickly is a very much rarity. I always expect at least one hit. And that also brings up what I was about to say about bullet limits. You can only have so many shots. Wow! Let's not shoot up and hit the egg that I thought I had already hit. Ideally, that was going to be our last egg, but instead we got to kill this raptor yet again. Alright, now we have the key card, which lets us get into the Verse Electric Room, which is very nearby. You cannot dodge the electric. It is there until it disappears. Again, you can't dodge electric. One more egg up there, and boom. Okay, we got that one. There's one left. Ah! Darn. But this is also another reason why I grabbed a few extra lives along the way, because this place is very unfair. Yeah, the pattern was enough where that was actually on the time when I don't get hit by a piece of electric rounding that bottom corner. So that's the first one. That right there is our exit to the stage. We can't access it yet because there's still one more electric room we gotta go through, which is here. And in this one, there is so much stuff going on. Good luck getting every egg to spawn in on time. It is more common to not see every egg spawn in on time. And the game makes me a liar by spawning in every egg before I get to it. Thanks, game! But that has been a minor RNG factor throughout this thing. I'm gonna grab this health. Alright, now we are done with ship. And this is the final stage. I did not hit it. I still can't hit. There we go. It was right in the middle of a crinkle. It was hard for me to see it. Alright, we got that one. Right from that health pack is a egg. I'm actually saving one egg intentionally on the ground here, so we don't have to go out of our way to pick up the key card, because we have eggs on the roof. Alright, we're going to leave the spitter alone, because otherwise we're going to be dealing with raptors in here. Right shot, please, thank you. And another jump shot. A jump shot, please, thank you. So, they stopped hiding the one-ups in this stage. They are now in plain sight. So, lovely little trick is shooting through the side of door frames. Makes for some sweet little trick shots to deal with. Alright, this part's going to be hard to line up cleanly in Zoot. Yep. Alright, so this lets us get into the next area. But first, more roof. Okay, I got one of them. I still can't get that one. Ugh. There we go. We can reach those much easier after this roof, but it's the swag. You gotta have the swag. 4 is correct. Alright. Now, we're on that rooftop we were just shooting through. Because we can't just, you know, have all of our eggs on one section of roof. There's multiple doors in these buildings that lead to different rooftops. But of course, the ones that we just got the keycard for is in the first half of this building. You gotta love it, right? And of course, it's not right there next to us. It's over there. Which means we gotta go all the way back through this. Which is why it would be an absolute time save if we could ever find another egg that could duplicate what the one does in Stage 5. I am going to have to start watching my bolus ammo a bit, as I want to make sure I have 30 shots leaving everything in here. Because we're going to need 26 for the final T-Rex at a minimum we don't miss. And we want a handful of them for making certain shots to make things easier on finding these eggs that are going to be hidden in the shrubbery. I will have to rechat in just a second. It is, like I said, it is very hard for me to read anything fine print. Oh, jeez, I was holding up. Don't hold up. In the costume. All I see is my name. Alright. Hold left, down, missed. Alright, that is the last rooftop egg. So now, there was a certain egg I left literally on the route to the building that we started at, because that's how we get the heck off this island. In this game, at least. So one fun thing is, Ocean made both of the Super Nintendo and the Nintendo and Game Boy, and the Amiga, which I'm currently trying to learn, versions of Jurassic Park. And holy crap, these soundtracks are so amazing on all of them. The Game Boy is the Game Boy sound chip of the exact same soundtrack. So it sounds wild. Alright, so that's where our last egg is hiding. Not really hiding. What we want to do here is not move, just shoot. Because that egg is a perfect shot from there. You move, you're probably going to miss it. This next one's a little bit more tricky. But we're going to stay down here. Hey, we did get it. Because down here is a little bit more safe. We don't have to worry about anything popping up and getting us. I'm going to do a high jump there. Because our egg is in that last bush. One more shot here. And I missed it. Alright, we got 2 lives. T-Rex, come get some. Oh my god, I almost got a 1 cycle. Whew. So that was 25 hits within a second and a half. Ow. Yeah, this is like the most brutal speed mash I have to do in any game I have played so far. It is intense, but it is extremely short. Yo, thanks for the GGs. All right, I gotta creep up closer so I can close this. Definitely not gonna save those splits.